Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? Today I'm going to be doing something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now, and I've just never gotten around to it because honestly I'm a little lazy. But I'm going to be doing a first look on the new release, the new game update, the new patch for October. It is the free section of the updates that they have been doing for the new Frontier Pass every other month. 1 month they will be releasing civs as well as new leaders, and another month they'll be doing like patch updates and maybe a new game mode. So I've been meaning to do it for basically since the Simon Bolivar and Maya release, but haven't gotten around to it. I haven't seen anything yet. I've been avoiding Discord, been avoiding YouTube and Reddit to make sure I don't spoil myself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it, eh?
Welcome back, Civ fans. For the last several months, we've been putting in a colossal effort from our home offices, bedrooms, dining rooms, kitchens, and God knows where else. But we're fortunate to now begin welcoming any developers who feel comfortable back to the studio. We're making every effort to keep everyone safe and secure, no matter where they choose to work from, and we hope you're all staying safe and healthy too. And with that, on with the show.
I am, friend. I am staying safe and healthy.
And welcome to the October developer video for Sid Meier's Civilization 6. We'll be filling you in on the new updates and features you can expect in our third free game update. As a reminder, our free game updates are available to all Civ 6 players, whether you own the base game, 1 or 2 expansions, or some or all of the DLCs. This means that everyone will have it.
That's important to note. If you are unaware that these October these every other month updates are free, regardless of free as in if you already own vanilla Civ 6. You don't have to have the Frontier Pass for this. You don't have to have Gathering Storm. You don't have to have Rise and Fall. That's important to know if you guys were unaware.
Chance to dive into our new scenario, Pirates. So button down your hatches, because you're about to have your timbers shivered.
The Pirates scenario is a 1 to 4 player contest for treasure and glory on the high seas. There's new and updated art to infuse the scenario with a more tropical, piratey atmosphere. You also have the option of exploring a unique handcrafted map, or choosing a map script that provides a different layout on each playthrough.
Interesting.
We'll be setting sail as one of 4 different pirate factions, each with its own unique abilities. But pirates aren't the only scourge of the civilization seas. You'll also have to navigate among British, Spanish, French, and Dutch navies, determined to send you to Davy Jones' locker.
It's kind of cool, giving us some naval warfare. I mean, it's just a scenario. Not sure if I'll play it. Just someone who plays only on deity. It's kind of this is really cool. It's a cool idea, and I'm glad that they're doing it for the. I guess I wouldn't call it like casual game base, but like people who don't either like play in CPL or deity play on deity. If you don't know what CPL is, that is the Civilizations Players League. It's a competitive, almost like an esports type league. So this is cool though. I like that they're doing these updates, these free updates for the community. It's just a nice little. It's just like literally just an update that they didn't have to do. So it's pretty cool.
Obviously, we pulled a lot of inspiration for this scenario from Sid Meier's Pirates.
It's a game we at Firaxis have always loved and still consider one of Sid Meier's crown jewels.
But Sid Meier's Civilizations is a very different style of game from Sid Meier's Pirates. Retooling the established rules of Civ 6 to work in this unique setting was an interesting challenge. Luckily, some elements could be adapted to fit really well with Civilization 6's established gameplay. For example, the relic system.
Stumbling on a random relic in a tavern or treasure chest let you customize
kinda cool.
your playstyle and experience in every match. You'll always have interesting choices to make as you equip different relics and combine powerful bonuses.
Civilization 6 assumes you can use cities to repair and replace units, but pirates don't have cities or settlers or builders.
+1 fighting. I don't know if you saw that for the damage.
But pirates don't have cities or settlers.
+1 fighting. I don't know. I think it's just funny.
We had to get creative in balancing how pirates heal units and survive against navies controlled by whole civilizations like England or Spain. To deal with this, we turned to Sid Meier's preferred model of game design. We programmed a playable prototype of our concept as quickly as possible, and then we just played it to death. The playtest feedback helped us find the fun and guided us forward.
Speaking of guiding us forward, this update also...
I guess it's just like meaning that, you're obviously not going to be able to build like settlers to build multiple cities because you're going to have like a port type situation. And so that's how you're going to have to repair. Like they just changed some of the mechanics of the game. That's cool. Like I said, I probably won't play it. Maybe I'll play it once. I mean, I still honestly haven't played Red Death yet. So it just, I'm not the target demographic, and that's completely fine. Target demographic are people who like to play the scenarios, like to play the game on just like a more, relaxed, casual basis, and not trying to min-max, or basically, as I've been calling it lately, D&D players are basically speedrunners of Civ 6, right? So it's cool. That's all I have to say about it.
Addresses a number of balance requests.
This is what I'm mostly looking for as the balance
requests. For example,
requests.
we took a really close look at the recruit partisans as...
Thank God. Thank God. I don't know. I've talked about this so many times on stream. I know there's a bunch of people who have. I absolutely dislike recruit partisans. I understand that the whole point of it, right, is partisans supposed to be like uprising, like trying to like overthrow your government type situation, but like the fact, like it's just such a weird concept that it's in the modern, like you're in the modern era and you have the I guess information era, and and they're recruiting people with like modern armor. Like, I don't know. I think it's just a really weird thing. It dissuades everyone that I know. I don't build neighborhoods anymore because when you're trying to min-max and go as fast as possible to win, there's no point in building neighborhoods. As long as your cities are 10 population at least, you don't really realistically need them to grow that much more. I mean, you obviously should get them to grow higher, but you're not going to be building neighborhoods for that, right? For the growth, you'll maybe build a couple farms. You'll be building like the sewers, all that type of stuff. But recruiting, the fact that the AI love to recruit partisans so much is something that there's a lot of us that just don't even build neighborhoods. We just it's just so annoying to deal with, especially if you're doing a culture game. You're not going to be having a lot of units, so you just forego building neighborhoods because there's just no point. There's no point when they're going to be recruiting partisans every like 4 to 6 turns. And then you have multiple civs, and even if you put a spy in there, that means wasted production on a spy. It's so on and so forth. It's just, I'm glad that they're looking at it. It'll be interesting to see what they have to say with this here.
Mission. We decided it was too problematic for defenders and discourages the building of neighborhoods.
Literally, it's literally just what I said. It's literally just what I said. All right, they know. It's good on them for access for listening to us.
The recruit partisans mission now pillages the neighborhood district, so the mission cannot be spammed. It also now spawns only anti-cavalry units to prevent it from feeling overpowered.
Yeah, that's good. That's just another thing. I mean, that's cool. It pillages it instead of just like spamming the units on it. I guess the question. Actually, hold on. We'll listen to this. See what they say.
We've also made some.
Okay, so I'm assuming that once you fix the neighborhood, and the spy doesn't either get killed or get taken out, that they can just do it again. But that was the problem, right? Is that they would just constantly like do it over and over and over again, and that is just no point. Like if the AI are doing that and they're not like siphoning funds, they're not trying to steal tech, which they do, but if I feel like they favor recruiting partisans, that just makes the game unfun. Not that it's like a thing that it shouldn't exist, because I think it's a cool concept and idea, but the fact that it just does it over and over again, and it just makes the game unfun even on a normal like playthrough. I'm glad that they're looking at it and they're changing it. Anti-cav units is nice. That means you don't have to deal with modern armor, because modern armor, the only way you can realistically deal with them is with other modern armor. Like, it's such a weird we can get into that at another time, but it's such a weird balance concept when in order to effectively attack your heavy cavalry units, you need more heavy cavalry. There's a weird dichotomy there where you're not building anti-cav to kill cavalry. So it's nice that they change it to anti-cav, and it's nice that it just makes the AI probably. I'm sure there's going to be some coding thing that they change where they make the AI prioritize it a little bit less, but we'll have to see once they release the actual patch notes.
Significant fixes involving game speed. One focus was to add scaling based on speed to features that didn't have it. For
scaling to based on, okay.
For example, the favorite cost of voting didn't previously scale with game speed. Now it does. So there will no longer be any vote spamming using hundreds or thousands of favor.
Okay, because this happened in okay, hold on. I'll talk about this in a second.
We've also made specific.
Okay, so this happened literally in the last game that I played on stream, which if you don't follow me or watch me on stream, I stream at twitch.tv/boesthius. But there was a situation where if you don't know, some AIs will give you a lot of money for Diplo Favor. The 3 off the top of my head are Pericles, Christina of Sweden, and Wilfred of Canada. Those 3 will almost always give you at least on standard speed on deity, generally above 10 gold per Diplo Favor. Usually it's around 12 to 14 Diplo or gold per Diplo Favor. And so if you're playing a peaceful game, you're going to have easily hundreds and hundreds of Diplo Favor, in which you can take hundreds of gold per turn, or, you know, up into the thousands of just flat gold from your AI. And that's what I did. I bankrupted Wilfred because he constantly had 50 to 60 gold per turn, and then up to a couple hundred gold per turn every couple turns. But at the end of that game, he had like 2,000 Diplo Favor, and he spammed all in one thing to give him. There's the World Congress of, you know, who gets the extra trade route for the next 30 turns, and he spent, I think it was like 1,100 Diplo Favor on that specific, just on that, and then one on, one vote on the rest of it. It was kind of insane. So I'm glad that they're looking at this. It's a very good change.
AI improvements inspired by some suggestion threads that you've circulated. We decreased the value of diplomatic favor to the AI.
All right, well, there goes our deity strategy.
And increase the AI's desire for certain wonders like the Oracle and Pyramid. The AI will now repair city defenses.
Okay, I'm going to go, I'll let them talk about the balance changes, then we'll go through them a little bit more.
And will be discouraged from building holy sites over other districts when playing a leader without a religious focus.
Finally, this update includes a host of balance tweaks for our first 2 DLC packs. You've all had some great feedback on Gran Colombia, and you'll definitely see that reflected.
So we'll go back really quickly. That will be, let's pause it and go back to this. So this kind of, I mean, this is fine. It's probably a change that was needed. Some AI should favor Diplo Favor, the value of it, but you know, specifically ones that are good for like Christina's a great example. I'm glad that they put her on here because she will almost always pay you 14 gold per 1 Diplo Favor on standard speed. So it's a good thing that they decreased it. Hopefully they didn't decrease it to the point where they only want it for like 2 gold per Diplo Favor, right? But that was kind of a little bit of an exploit. It wasn't like an actual exploit, but it was kind of a little bit of one where we would just spam the AI for them. So that's a good change. This one, however,
decrease the value of diplomatic favor. The AI will now increase the AI's.
This kind of sucks. Oracle is a very, very strong wonder, especially in both science and culture games, specifically culture games, because if you pair Pingala with Oracle, you're going to be getting a lot of great people points, right? Lately, Oracle hasn't even been going until on standard speed and deity, sometimes even over turn 100. So you can realistically get it between turn 50 and 60 after you get your second and third cities. The same thing with Pyramids. Pyramids hasn't, there was one game where it went around turn 56, 57 recently for me. But generally, they haven't been favoring it to get it until like turn 170, 180, right? Where it's not really effective at that point. So generally, you can spam Pyramids pretty easily. So this is kind of, I mean, it's fine. It's probably a change that needed to happen because it is a high-value early game. Both of these are high-value early game wonders, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how difficult it is to get these because before, with like the Pyramids, there's also some other wonders like Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, as well as Kilwakasawani. For a long time, Kilwakasawani was like the AI would go for it right when they could, right? So we'll see how these changes affect. It might change some culture games where you can no longer get Oracle at turn 50 to 60, and you kind of have to chop it out like after your second city. But we'll see. It's probably a good change for the better. But we'll see how that goes.
Desire for certain wonders like the Oracle and Pyramid. The AI will now repair city defenses promptly.
Promptly, okay.
And will be discouraged from building holy sites over other districts when.
So this is interesting. It's probably a good thing. I played, if you guys are not familiar with my channel or myself on Twitch, I primarily play Domination. So this is interesting. It's both good and bad. I think it's more good than bad for me, at least, because almost all of the time, AI are going to be building, which is really strange. AI are going to be building two districts. Holy Site, they will build a campus every once in a while, but they build holy sites and entertainment complexes. For some reason, I don't know the reason why. Maybe it's because of the amenity changes from the last free update patch. They were doing it before, but the AI really, really highly favor entertainment complexes, especially on standard speed deity. They build them, which is good because on Domination, you can pillage entertainment complexes for health, so I'm not complaining there. But it's just a weird thing because when you're going Domination, and you take over the first 2 cities, the only districts they generally have are one of those 2. And you don't necessarily, like, those are useful later in the game when you get Grandmaster's Chapel and you want to support your late game military. But early game, it doesn't really do anything, right? Because you're not going to be going for a religion unless you're playing Byzantium, or you get Russia, right? You're generally not going for a religion. You're going to be going for like a classical era timing attack. And it's just such a weird, like, getting holy sites. You're like, this just feels bad. I need science, maybe some culture, and I need some economy, mostly science and economy. So the fact that the AI don't build campuses and commercial hubs in the classical to medieval era, and just like build holy sites, campus, entertainment complexes, and then maybe like a campus here or there. This is a good change, I think. At least for me, that's my personal opinion, but that's because I play domination 90% of the time. It does kind of suck if you are going. Well, actually, no. I think it's just a good change overall. So that's my opinion on that.
Playing a leader without a religious focus.
Finally, this update includes a host of balance tweaks for our first 2 DLC packs. You've all had some great feedback on Gran Colombia.
That's good, because Simon Bolivar probably needs to be changed a little bit.
For more details and the full list of changes, stay tuned for the upcoming
They're probably not going to talk about,
and that sums up those at the time. Changes coming in our 3rd free game update. The update will be available on Thursday, October 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time, and 5 p.m. British Summer Time. Civ fans, you are the best fans in gaming.
True. We look forward to meeting you from across our cannons in the free multiplayer pirate scenario. May our coffers be heavy and
I want that mug.
As you take
I want that mug. That's a fantastic mug. Okay. Well, I think we basically covered everything there, right? The Simon Bolivar changes, that's what I'm really interested to see. Right? Like Simon Bolivar, Gran Colombia, if you are unaware, he is probably the best, if not one of the best, domination favored civilizations. Some of the changes that I've suggested and I've seen other people suggest are in regards to his movement. It's just both his movement and his ability to, let's go back into this. Some of the changes that I've been wanting to see is mostly his movement, right? There's a couple different things with Simon Bolivar that allows him to be so not necessarily overpowered, but very, very good. One is his extra movement. Regardless, that means your settlers can reach spaces that in one turn that generally, if you weren't playing Simon Bolivar, it would take you 4 turns to settle. That's a pretty big thing that a lot of people don't necessarily think about. They just think about the combat aspect of it. And then there is the other part of it, which is the domination part. Llaneros, I'm fine with Llaneros. Llaneros, and then his, I forget the name off the top of my head, but his unique tile improvement, I'm fine where those are at. Maybe the tile improvement can come a little bit earlier. Maybe like serfdom, whatever. Where I always forget what civic serfdom is in. But that era instead of, I'm pretty sure it's mercantilism. But with that, I think the other thing that's really, really, really strong for Simon Bolivar is the fact that he can move, promote, and then shoot with a ranged unit all on the same turn, right? So if you have, for example, so you're doing a war and you have a siege unit like a bombard that doesn't have any promotions, right? It's a brand new bombard. You're attacking. You get a promotion on it. On the next turn, you can move it to a different spot, promote the unit, and then still attack because you're Simon Bolivar, whereas you'd have to either choose one of those things from a different AI, right? If you're playing a different civ, you'd have to either choose to move, you'd have to choose to attack again, or you'd have to choose to promote. And the fact that you don't get the ability to do that until the third promotion on the right side of the tree as a siege unit is huge, because that means you have to wait 3 promotions in order to move after attack, right? And the fact that you can move, attack, and upgrade at the same time, I think that's probably what they're going to change. A change that I would like to see is keep the +1 movement that they have, but maybe make it to only your continent. I think that would be really nice. It is very similar to the attack damage that you get when you play as Teddy, right? Being on your home continent, but I think that would be a nice change. It'd be something that wouldn't be that means that, if you're fighting on your continent, you have like an insane amount of movement speed, but that's good because that's, you're fighting on your homeland. But other than that, maybe the fact that maybe the great generals and his commandants don't stack, that could be a change too. because right now commandants and great generals stack. So you have you go into the classical era, you're doing a classical era timing attack, you get political philosophy, you get oligarchy, you have the attack damage from oligarchy, you have your commandant, you have a great general if you get one out in time. That is a lot of extra damage, and the fact that you can just basically blitzkrieg into someone's territory and kill them super fast, that's huge, right? That's a very, very, very big advantage that no one else gets. And obviously some civs should have, more advantages than others, but that's a huge advantage. So I think one of those is probably going to get nerfed a little bit, maybe changed. I think my best guess, it's hard. Any of those could get changed. I would prefer to see the one where you get the +1 movement only on your home continent. So out of all of those, maybe the fact that you can't move, promote, and shoot in the same turn, that might get changed. We'll see. There's a reason why. I think, not to get too into my top 5, what the greatest top 5 civs are, but Simon Bolivar is in there. Simon Bolivar is my top 5 best civs for sure. That'll be in another video that we can talk about that. So, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for this. This was the first time I was doing a React video for the new update. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit. Like I said, I haven't gotten around to it. Just because, like I said, I've been a little lazy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys had any questions in regards to that, or any maybe feedback or comments, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that I am in the right idea for the nerfs on Simon Bolivar? Do you guys like the new game mode? Please let me know down below in the comments down here, down in this area. And if you'd like to join me, I have a Discord, which you can find linked in the description, as well as a Twitter and a Twitch stream. I do stream every Wednesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/boesthius. If you'd like to catch me there, that is generally where I'm at more often than not. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, month, year, century. I will see you guys later. Bye.